Um, this one is very interesting. I don't know. I've had videos in the past. Some of y'all have seen, some of y'all that haven't. There's a couple of videos that I have. I think two right now. I say a couple, but it's like two. I have two videos regarding situations where civilians were unalived by the police. This situation is really, I don't know. There's a lot. Not only was the situation really weird to begin with, but I feel like this has probably been the first video where I'm looking and I'm like, this person did not have to die, by no means. There was no reason for this person to get shot the way that they got shot. This is in regards to Sonya Massey of Springfield, Illinois. She was shot. Quick synopsis: the police got a call about, I don't know if it said a burglary or somebody that was just lurking the area. She was the one that called the police saying that there was somebody that was outside making a whole bunch of noise or whatever. I guess probably trying to break in. So there were definitely some weird things that took place here. One, the police came in, knocked on the door. She didn't answer. She didn't answer for the first like 3 minutes or so. The cops circled around the house just to see what was going on. Because, I mean, you got to call that there was somebody that was in the area. So, of course, you got to inspect the area first before you just go in. All the lights were shut off in the house. They see a car that's next to the house where the window was broken into. So that was already weird enough. She answers, says, "Hey, who is it?" They say it's the police. And then she says, "Hold on, I'm coming." When she finally opens the door, it's weird that and it's kind of unclear what she says when the door opens, but she mentions, "Please don't hurt me," which is already weird enough. And during the time that she's talking and trying to explain stuff, you can tell that something's going on. Something's wrong. I don't know if she was like drunk or high or whatever, but she's not speaking clearly by no means. So there's something that's up. And of course, the cops knows that something's up with her as well. But so they just continue on because they don't see no imminent danger, whatever the case may be. And then the weird thing is the cops are about to leave. They mentioned the window that was broken on the car, and she says, "I don't know whose car it is. It was just there," type stuff. She doesn't know whose car it is. They just parked it there. Again, weird enough. And then after a couple minutes, that's when they go inside, which doesn't make sense why they did that. So it's already suspicious that the police even like walked inside in the first place. I mean, if this is her house and she doesn't want the police to come inside, but she probably did say, "Okay, yeah, you can come inside and check." It still doesn't make sense why they would do that. Again, a lot of weird stuff. So eventually they come inside. One of the deputies checks inside the room. There's a lot of stuff inside the room. So I don't know. And as they're asking for more information, they're trying to ID her and stuff. She's looking in her purse for her ID, but she can't find it. She keeps talking about she has paperwork. Don't know what the paperwork is for, if it was even relevant. The police realized that, and so they ended up just saying, just one thing at a time. Let's start with the ID. She continues to fumble around with the ID, and then she walks around to the kitchen, and then she walks to the stove where she has boiling water. Now, to me, the assumption is that I'm assuming that during the time that the police were there, she had put the pot on top of the stove prior to opening the door to the police, because it just doesn't make sense. You're taking so long to answer the door, but you have a hot stove running of water for what reason? That part is just weird. And then after the police weren't even asking for nothing. They just kept asking for ID. She kept saying that she had her paperwork. And it's like, what paperwork? Doesn't make sense. So when she goes into the kitchen, things already are feeling weird, like she was kind of up to something and it didn't make sense. So then conversations is happening. She's next to the pot, and then she mentions, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." But I don't know. It seems like the cop knew that something was going to happen, that she was going to try and throw the water on them. I don't know how he knew, but he probably just had that instinct. And then his immediate response was, "You better not, or I'll shoot you in the effing head." To me, honestly, like watching it the first time, I'm like, yo, what? How do we even get here? Because to me, the whole pot thing wasn't even on my mind. Not on my mind at all. So then immediately after that, he pulls his gun out, and then his second deputy also pulls his gun out, and they're telling her, "Step away from the pot." She ducks. She lets go of the pot. She puts her hands up, and then she ducks. What I don't understand is, why did she get up and grab the pot again? And it was at that point that the cop shot her. Now, the problem that I have with this situation is his response afterwards. I get that you shot somebody. I get that you're probably high on adrenaline right now, but your response afterwards was very disgusting. It was, to me, borderline, if not absolute, inhumane. If I had seen this 5 years ago, I would have been like, yep, the police are out here to kill black people because they just don't care. Not because of the situation, but because of his response. His words after the shooting were, well, there ain't nothing we can do about it. What else can we do? I'm not taking boiling water to the face. Wow, really? So you take somebody's life for that? It's just her in a house and she's a 1096. Like, that's an excuse? So from what I've learned recently after watching this video is that 1096 is somebody that has recorded mental issues. But does that justify you shooting somebody, ending their life because they have boiling water in their hands? I've seen people not get shot for less. People that had actual weapons, machetes, knives, had own guns in their hands and they weren't shot. I've seen rabid dogs, not with rabies, but crazy. I've done a video, literally done a video not too long ago about a hostile dog that wasn't shot, that could have easily just been shot. And this thin, feeble woman with mental issues just have a pot of hot water and you immediately pull your gun, not even your taser. You have two guns that's aiming towards her. One of you have a good shot or a decent enough shot to where even the second that she moved, you could have tased her, or at least you could have tased her from the jump. I don't know. The whole situation on how they reacted just doesn't bode well with me. And if you're an officer or police officer and you can say, please let me know if are they justified in the whole situation. Like I said, I've seen videos before and I can see how it can get hairy. This seems like something that definitely, nah, bro. Pulling out the gun was not the best option by absolutely no means. It doesn't make any type of sense. I don't like it at all. Yes, she's crazy. I mean, yes, you could tell that something was off from the beginning. And yes, it was odd that she was walking next to the hot pot. And yes, she could have thrown the hot pot of water at them. This is all true. I don't think she's going to do anything to where, I don't know. I don't understand why she got back up to grab the pot. That part still doesn't make absolutely no sense to me. But again, if she's somebody that actually does have mental issues, if that was actually the case, maybe that's what the paperwork was for, was to state something. I don't know. But this course of action was not it. And his response really felt in you. It really gave me that feeling that it was like, oh well, I expect you to say something like that if you killed a dog that tried to attack you. Oh well, it's a dog. But apparently even dogs that are hostile don't even get that treatment. I'm not big at all. She's literally like my size as far as width. And I'm pretty sure that the water wasn't even going to get that far as she threw it, because that thing kind of looked a little heavy. I don't know, but this wasn't deserved by no means. I don't know what the officer was thinking. I don't know what was going through his head. I don't know. Everything just seemed sketch. And it was that kind of weird scene like in a movie when he stepped outside and there was about, I don't know, maybe 10 cops that was outside due to the call and trying to bring, everybody in for the investigation, whatever it was. There was 10 cops that was standing outside and it's like they were doing nothing but staring at him. It was weird. It was kind of like a sense of like, yo, I did this and everybody's looking at me like, yo, what is he doing? Why did he do this type thing? It was just weird. They're just all giving him blank stares as if they know exactly what happened, as if they knew the type of person that he was. And like, bro, you done messed up this time type situation. I don't know, man. I just didn't like it. It was all painful. This is definitely one of those cases where cop messed up big. I don't even want to say messed up. I'm not the one to usually jump to this is racist. This is all racism. You don't like black people type stuff. You don't care about black people. But the way that I see this played out, low-key gives me those vibes based off of what I saw. But again, this is one of those cases where even though I'm throwing all these videos of cops and doing their jobs and whatnot, there are cops that don't know everything as far as details, as far as their job goes. And there are also cops that really should not be cops. This was one of those cases where I feel like, and comment below if you think different, but I feel like this is one of those cases where you should not have been a cop. If pulling your gun on this woman who's mental, for a fact from the jump that something was wrong with her, to pull a gun on her, I don't think you should be a cop. I don't. The description of the full video is going to be below. I'm not going to hold it. I'm not going to put any of the clips of the video. You guys can watch it and determine everything yourself. The video is actually provided by Police Activity, the full body cam video, so you can see actually what happened and be your own judge. And if you got comments on how you feel about the situation, go ahead and comment on the video. I want to hear y'all opinion, because this to me is just, this is probably the far most worst police body cam video that I've seen. I'm thoroughly disgusted. I can understand adrenaline, but this is utterly disgusting of his reaction to the whole situation, the way that it played out. No, I've seen police officers in far worse situations and still leave with their life and the person's life. This is not it. This is not it. Sean Grayson will be held in jail until his trial after a Sangamon County judge agreed with prosecutors that he's a risk to the community. If convicted, Grayson faces prison sentence of 45 years to life for murder, 6 to 30 years for battery, and 2 to 5 years for misconduct. I agree. I'm glad that they made this decision fairly quickly. In most cases, you would have needed months. And this video, the body cam was released, at least with Police Activity, July 20 was released yesterday. I think this court happened early July 6. Okay. So as you listen to the video, you can still hear some popping in the background, which I initially thought was guns. But since it was July 6th, it was more than likely people still shooting up fireworks. No, this is terrible. This is terrible. I don't like it at all. But at the end of the day, we still gotta come to a realization that this isn't all cops. I'm still gonna defend police, because although there's one bad seed, that doesn't ruin it for everybody. Because just as much as people hate cops, I hate doctors with a passion. I hate surgeons with a passion. Why? Because they help save people. Yeah, that's absolutely true. But I've been through a lot when it comes to doctors, of trying to diagnose you with this, trying to diagnose you with that, and try to send you to this person to get checked out so they can diagnose you with this or diagnose you with that. You get a second opinion. They say, no, well, this is going to work. No, this is going to work. Let's do this. And it costs you X amount of dollars, and you still end up not being. No, I don't like doctors. But I understand that there are doctors that actually do good, like the doctor that helped save my sister's life last year. So although I don't like a lot of doctors, I still understand that there are doctors that do care about their job, that do care about people's lives and want to make a difference in the world. Same way with police. I know that there are probably plenty of police like this officer here, but there are still way more police that try to do their job and try to make a difference. Just like my brother, who just became an officer, who just graduated from academy. So interesting. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. I don't really know what else to say from there, but take it easy. Peace.